Hello, welcome back to Phil Salvage Rebuilds and the last video on the Mini Soho, and I mean the last video this time. I know I've said this before, but I'm sure if you've seen the series of videos on this car, you'll have seen that the spray can job didn't go perfect. Colour wise, it was great, but the lacquer, unfortunately the lacquer didn't quite work out properly, especially on the bonnet. So I decided to get a compressor spray gun and we did the job properly. So we'll look at the results. I'll show you the bumpers and the bonnet. I think they turned out really well for a first attempt at spraying. We'll get the last few little jobs done on this car, whip it down the road, have a nice little walk around it and show you the complete car now, and then for the last bit of this video we will do the price breakdown. So I know a lot of you guys are quite interested in the price breakdown and how much it's worked out to fix these cars, and you know what we're going to look at selling it for, things like that. So we'll dive straight in and get these last few bits done. Before we do that, please do subscribe to the channel, please do give them a good thumbs up, press the bell notification and you'll be notified of all future videos. So we'll crack on. Right then, so as I mentioned, we had to redo the front and back bumpers and the bonnet, and well, this is how it's turned out. This is the back bumper. If you look at the actual finish on that now, it's so much more shiny. This obviously it's got water on it, so don't worry about the water, but the finish, the shine, it's really good. No runs. Paint colour match wise is spot on. So like I said, for a first attempt in a very cold unit with no heating, no infrared lights, nothing. I think, to be fair, that's turned out pretty incredible. So as well as the back bumper, we've got this trim that goes on the front bumper. It goes round this grille. So we need to put that back bumper on. I'll just nip round to the front. There's the bonnet, already fit. Lovely shine to it, great colour match. Front bumper, and that's obviously the grille I need to put in. So the front bumper's been painted as well. Again, great colour match, nice and shiny. So yeah, pretty much finished. A little bit of a trim to fit on there, I've got it. What else have I done? I did fit a new wheel bearing to the rear driver's side because it was making a right racket. So I want to give it a bit of a road test to make sure that noise is gone now. And I think that is going to be it. That's this car complete. It's already MOT'd. Now we've got an MOT in it. I've cleaned it out. Oh, I do need an aerial. I need to get an aerial yet, so I'll just have to order one off eBay. I'm sure it'll turn up in a couple of days. So I'll crack on then. We'll throw this back bumper on, then we'll throw the front on, and then like I said, we'll give it a quick run out, test that wheel bearing noise, make sure that's gone, and then we'll have a quick walk around it somewhere, just to show the finished car, and then we'll come back and we'll do the price breakdown. Looking good all around the back there now. Spot on that bumper, innit? Really good. So I'll whip round the front now, throw in them two grills, and we can call it a job done. Right, so there we have it. This car's finally complete. looking very good. So yeah, going back to the original damage, it was all this corner. So we've had new headlight, new bonnet, replacement bumper, new grills, new trim around the headlight, replacement plastic cover, a few more bits. I need to put the badge on yet. We've had obviously the replacement slam panel. We've had radiator air Conrad. I think that's about it for the front. And then round the back, we replaced this plastic cover, and we ended up repairing this bumper, didn't we? Because we did try rattle canning a new one, but it didn't turn out well. So I repaired the original, repainted that. I think we replaced this one as well because that had some scuffs on it. And that's about it, I think. So looking spot on now. It's ready to go up for sale. MOT'd. It's had a new tyre on it, so it's got good tyres all around, good brakes all around. Yeah, the alloys have some curbing marks on them, but I'm not going to bother with them. At the end of the day, it's got 75,000 miles on it. It's not a new car by any means. That's just the way it is. I'm not touching them, full stop. So we'll go back home now. I'll put a still image up of this, and then we'll go down the list of parts that we've replaced, how much the parts cost, and then we can get ourselves a total then of how much we've spent on this car to get it to where it is now, and we can then decide what we're going to do price wise on the advert. Okay, so price breakdown time, and I've started with the rear of the car, and I've also put a picture up there for you to show you the damage when we actually purchased the car. So rear wise, we needed the bumper to be replaced. We had the arch trim, offside rear arch trim to replace because there were some scratches in it, and we also had the offside rear control arm to replace, because if you look at the camber of the wheel on that bottom left picture, the camber of the bottom of the wheel was pulling right in because the control arm had been hit by one of the forks on the forklift truck at Copart. I'm guessing that's what had happened. I couldn't figure out any other way that control arm could have got bent up to the position where it was. So I'm just guessing that's how the control arm got bent. But so the rear bumper was £125. In hindsight, we didn't need that rear bumper, and we didn't even use it. So I've got it sat up at the unit. Perhaps we'll use it again on another Mini. Perhaps I'll just rub it down and just prep it and sell it, or even offer it to someone in the colour of their choice and get the money back on it. So we could, in theory, knock £125 off the end price, but I'm not doing that. So we'll include it. It's there. So we've got the offside rear trim, only arch trim, little plastic trim, that was only £10, the second hand obviously, and the control arm, again it was only £10, in perfect condition, the bushes were perfect in it. That again was second hand. So onto our second picture, and again now this is the front of the car, again showing a picture of the damage as we purchased it. Pretty heavy damage from passenger side. No frame damage, no chassis damage, but the wheel was pushed back, so there was some undercarriage damage. So we've got a hell of a list on this side, on this page, to work through. Never imagined I would have needed all these little bits when I looked at the pictures on the Copart advert, but this is what happens, they all add up, and you'll see in the end the total does get pretty high. So we'll start top left. We had to replace the radiator, second hand unit, £30. Air Conrad, couldn't find one second hand for a reasonable price, so that was a brand new unit. The top rail is a piece of steel. It's a U-shaped piece of steel that connects the top of the slam panel to the actual chassis of the car. Top rail, £20 second hand. Chrome trim, that's the trim on the bonnet and on the bumper. Them together was £39 and 7p. We had the headlight washer, because these are Xenon headlights, so you got a headlight washer there. £28.48. Washer bottle was smashed a bit, so we had to replace that. £14.95. Onto the list on the right side, the new bonnet was one of the most expensive parts, £198.24. Because this is an LCI, the bonnets are slightly different to the earlier models and difficult to get hold of second hand. So people are asking £170 for ones in a different colour. So I put the extra bit to it, got a brand new one. We had to paint it, but yeah, that was quite expensive. The front bumper, again, not a cheap item, second hand that. £175, and we had to paint that as well. Slam panel, £73.57, that was brand new. Headlight was brand new at £141.28. Not a cheap headlight, but like I said, these are quite a rare headlight on minis. Black inlays with the xenon headlight. They were only a standard light on the Mini Soho. You could get it as an option on other minis, but only a standard headlight on the Mini Soho, which is what this is. We ended up putting a wheel bearing on it, driver's rear, because it was very noisy. That was £31.40. The front control arm, second hand again, nothing wrong with the bushes, £10. But as you recall, we had to drop the subframe to do that, which was a pain in the backside. And then we've got a few miscellaneous parts. We've got the £58.63 there. It was just little bits and pieces that I ran out of room to put on the list, basically, added up to that amount. And then we've got the MOT, which was £40. So that was the front then complete, which will now give us a total. So here we go. Here is the total that it's cost to fix this car. We've got the Copart hammer price, which was £9.25, which I still think was a decent hammer price, bearing in mind they had a reserve on this vehicle of £1,825, and we managed to get on them down to that, and they accepted it in the end. You got the Copart fees of £192, not too bad really, excuse me. The parts in total cost £1,156.70. So then we've got a bit of fuel in there for going to collect it of £40, and then I've added another £100 because I don't know the exact amount for the paint, sandpaper, all the stuff to prep and paint these. These are the two front bumpers, well, the front bumper, the rear bumper, and the bonnet. That gives us a total of £2,413.70. Now, I don't know if I mentioned in one of the first videos for this car, but I did have a budget, and I was hoping it was going to come in under £2,000. So you can see there, I have gone way over, unfortunately, but there's nothing we could do about that. As always, you start to dig into these cars and you find these extra little bits, like washer bottles, like the washer pump for the washer bottle, that had to be replaced. The hosing for the xenon headlight washers had to be replaced. The headlight washer itself, all them little bits soon add up to a couple of £100. So, and the fact that the bonnet was so expensive as well. So yeah, that is our total, £2,413.70. Now, in terms of resale value, my original idea was to put this up for about £3,000. Bearing in mind it is a Soho edition, so there are not that many of them around. I might put it up for a little bit more now, just to see how it goes, just to try to make us a bit of money. Because on the face of it, if it's sold for £3,000, £500 for the amount of work we've actually put into that car isn't a great deal really, and you're not going to make a living off that. But we're not trying to make a living, it's a hobby, and I use these vehicles as content for this YouTube channel for you guys to watch. Don't expect to make loads of money out of this. It's more fun and enjoyment for myself, and hopefully you guys get the fun and enjoyment from watching these videos. So that is the Mini complete now. We can get that up for sale. Probably £3,250, I think, something like that. And that is it, yeah. So hope you've enjoyed this series. Have your say, tell me what you think. I know some of you want to put labour charges in there and all sorts. If we do that, you know what's going to happen. It's going to throw it way over what we're going to get back for it. Like I said, this is not my job. I'm not trying to make a living by doing this. So I'm treating it as a hobby. I'm not putting labour costs in. It's as simple as that. If you really want to be fussy, in terms of hours, if I had to try to tie myself down to hours, I'd probably say I might have put 30 hours in, probably not even that, 25 hours. I don't know, it's so hard to say because I dive in and out of these cars and don't spend more than a few hours at a time on them. So if I said 20 hours, that's a max I've spent on this car. If you want to work out your own labour rate, put that on top of it. That's your choice. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, that is it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the price breakdown. We'll move on. We'll get this sold, move on, get the Fiesta finished, crack on with the Corsa, and then we can buy some more cars and get some more content for you guys. So as always, please do subscribe to the channel. Big thumbs up for the videos, and don't forget to press that bell notification, and I will catch you next time. Thank you very much.